Hey paper crafters, thank you so much for joining me today. I love that you took the time to pop by my channel, check out the video that I've got going, and hopefully stay and poke around a little bit. I'm really excited to be able to offer some videos now and then and share my love of paper crafting. So I hope you find something that you enjoy and come back to see me another time. Bye-bye. Hey paper crafting friends, thanks for tuning in today. I'm going to start by saying that I attacked the August 2022 Kiwi Club kit. It's called Tropical Vibes, and this is my scraps. So I'm going to show you all the different things that I created. I'll let you know when I put in some of my own paper, but I just had to share because I had so much fun creating with this kit. So starting off, I just have to say I have a trip to Kauai planned next summer. So when this kit came, I was super excited. And the first thing I did when I realized it had this super tropical vibe is I pulled out all the templates I have that I thought would be fun to play with. And I just had all those templates out and available. So these were the ones that came with this kit. This is called Flamazing, and it's got the toucan, the flamingo, the vine, a really big leaf, and then all of these pieces that you can use for doodling. It's got like the legs for the flamingo, okay? It's got the little doodle spot so you can make a little wing on the flamingo. Seabirds, this is for adding to a flower, adding more details to palm trees, coconuts. This was the beak from the toucan, not the beak, but kind of the, it's the little shape that makes the white area of the toucan. I'll show you on the ones that I made. So fun template set that came with it. But then I also went, well, I've got tropical with a bunch of things in it, paradise, summer, and then I pulled out a bunch of a la cartes. I had tiny highlights. Sorry, that one actually just came out of a tiny set. I pulled out my Oasis, Wild One, the Sunshades, Shine. This one came out of tiny highlights. So I just kind of went crazy, right? And I had all these templates in my workspace so that I would have full access to anything that might work. I even pulled out some big ones like Sunny, the Compass I thought might be fun, and then Whimsy too. So I didn't use all of these, I'm not gonna lie, but I had them out so that I could use them if I wanted to. So the first thing that I created was my calendar. I almost always start there these days. It's one of my favorite things anymore. So you'll see when I pull these out that I'm going to have a little sticky note. This is really for my notes. When I share online, I always like to share the pieces, the different templates that I used. Sorry, this is sticking a little bit. Give me a second. There we go. So this was the calendar I did with the Tropical Vibes kit. And I'll scooch this a little so you can see this part too. For whatever reason, on this one, I was inspired to use a white pen for some doodling. And I just added some detail on the leaves and on the flowers, and then on the shell and the shades up here, and then around the sun from the summer set. So had a lot of fun with that one and got my calendar done. When I went through all of the sentiment cards, right away I was struck by certain sentiments. Some of them right away said to me that they needed to be cards. So I will show you the cards I made as we go along the way. But that is something that I try to be conscious of. If there are some that seem like cards, I just try to make sure that I set those aside and play with those as the time comes. So here's one of the other layouts I did. This one is all using pieces that came in the kit, okay? I didn't add any papers for this. I had everything I needed and made that work. So this is just another day in paradise. And then had great time with one of those flowers. This is out of Tropical. And then this was one of the pieces that was in that Flamazing template. I just traced these little flower accents and put those on. Okay. That was the big leaf, I want to say from Wild, so a little bit bigger than the one in Tropical. Okay. And then look at the toucan. He is so stinking cute. When I made him, I had already looked ahead and realized that there were a couple that I wanted to use for cards. So I made a few toucans all at the same time. For me, it's easier to make something like that, just several of them. And that way I was able to just set them aside and save them with those sentiment cards so that I had them for later. Okay, so that's a fun one. I cannot wait for this trip, you guys. I'm gonna have so much fun making the pages after. All right, this one also used almost only things from the kit. What I did add on was some extra dark green. As I started creating, I realized I did not have enough of the dark green in the kit, and so I pulled out this sheet that I just thought coordinated really well. It's just a thick piece of cardstock that's got some little dot texture on it, so I used it for all of these leaves. Everything else came from what was provided in the kit, aside from this ribbon, okay? But all of the paper, aside from that green, came in the kit. So this is just kind of a fun one. I made a couple of flamingos here. I did make a couple of extra because a couple of the sentiments called for flamingos that I'm going to use for cards. And again, I'll show you those in a minute. So love this saying, apparently we are trouble when we are together. I am certain I will find a way to use that. So that's that one. All right, this next one was really inspired mostly just by the sentiment card. It says, "Staying cool by the pool." Okay, let me pull that sticky off. So this one, I just pulled a lot of things out of this summer set, and then I pulled out Shine. Again, I never know what direction I'm going to go when I start playing. For whatever reason, after I created this beach ball, which is barely stuck on here, you guys. It's got a little teeny tiny piece of adhesive on the back so that I can move it where I want it later. But when I created this and it had that kind of white outline, I decided that I really wanted to have that white outline on everything. So when I made all of these pieces, I used my little tracers. If you've watched my videos for a while, you've seen these, but these little tracers work so nice to make just a slightly bigger version of whatever the template is. So in this case, I used the yellow one because it's the smallest. It gives about 1/8 inch all the way around. Okay. You just tuck it underneath the edge of the template that you want to trace. So in this case, I'll grab this little floaty. Okay, you can see that the pink matches the size of the template. But when I put this around the edge, tuck the fat part underneath, and I stick a pencil in the hole, when I trace around, it gives me just a slightly bigger version. And so that's what I did to create the background for the floaty, for the bracket up here, the umbrella, and for the Shine a la carte. Okay. If you have questions about those, I'll put a little bit more information in the description for the video. So this one is just a fun pool layout. I have no doubt that at some point I'll have some pool pictures from this trip. So, alrighty, so let's set that one aside, and I'm going to show you the cards. There are a couple more layouts, but I'm actually showing you in the order that I created things. So here's the cards. So this one says, "Be the best that two can be." Okay, so I did use my own card base for this. Okay, but there's that one. This one, sorry, I'm trying to manage these little stickies too. I'll just stick them beside them. That way you've got the information if you want it. Here's the other toucan card. It says, "Toucan, do it." Again, I used my own card base for that one. Then I had this one, Born to Stand Out, Not to Fit In. This could definitely go on a layout instead, this particular sentiment. But for me, it was something that I already know who I'm gonna send that to, so. And then this one says, You Are Flamazing. And again, used my own card base, but everything else was paper and stuff that was in the kit. So these are a little bit labor intensive, of course, the flamingos and the toucans, but because I made so many at one time, it worked out pretty well. Okay, so let me stack those back up, but just some fun ideas. I ended up with no sentiment cards left. I used every single one of this kit, so. Okay, the next two layouts, I did use my own backgrounds. I was out of the background paper from the kit. They do provide enough paper for 3 12x12 layouts if you're using their background paper, and I ended up making 5 layouts plus the calendar and the 4 cards. So clearly I had to bring in my own paper somewhere. So this is just a black close to my heart paper, and I had some of this pineapple paper left, and I had this sentiment left. So I thought, oh my gosh, I just have to do something. This little flower that says vacation time, again, just has an itty bitty piece of sticky on the back, just to keep it with the page, and I will put it up against a photo or something when it's time. You'll notice I didn't leave photo mats in most spots, and that's because I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of opportunity to move them around and do what I needed. I'm finding that sometimes when I do the mats ahead, that doesn't always have the flexibility I need when I get my photos printed. So, okay, so there's that one. This is just a couple of 3x4s, and this has a piece of foam tape on the back, but I left it nice and open so that I can tuck photos in there. Okay. Last one is just done on white. And this one, I used that My Oasis. I had to make a palm tree. This sentiment says, Find me under the palms. And I could not do it without making these palm trees. Okay, so I went ahead and did those. Again, this is really led out of what I had left. I had this pink paper left. I had this really fun, vibrant, I don't know, wacky stripe. And I went ahead and just put these together, pulling out of the colors from the tag, and threw in the shine sun up at the top. So these are obviously a big embellishment. I may end up needing to put a photo kind of under or around, and so these have foam tape, but I haven't taken the backing off yet. Okay, that way if I need to tuck a photo under, I can, and then I can go ahead and secure them with that foam tape that's already there. So that is a quick walkthrough of everything that I created with that kit. You saw the scraps I had left. It's not a lot. I was a busy, busy girl. So I hope you found something in there that inspires you. Please leave me comments if there's something that you need to know more about, or there's a technique you'd like me to share. I'm always interested in hearing that. I am excited to be back into making some videos again. I'll try to be a little bit more regular. I have definitely been a busy girl and haven't had a lot of time, but I'm going to try. So thanks again for tuning in today, and I hope I see you again soon. Bye-bye.